Hello, trail travelers. Today we are going to hit Rollins Pass. This is a real interesting historic area in both the railroad history as well as Indians who would use this as a pass and Mormons who would take this on their way to Salt Lake City. There's just a lot of history involved around Rollins Pass. So we're going to work our way up there in something a little bit more modern than a covered wagon, but it is pretty snowy today, so we'll see if we can actually make it. What you do is you come off the highway and you'll take this fairly nice dirt road for 7 miles before you get to 149, and that's Rollins Pass Road. So that's what we're going to take and head up. Along the way here, you'll see some really nice views. You're right along the riverbed. Just a gorgeous sight, especially here at the beginning of winter. So we're going to air down and start heading up Rollins Pass and see where we get today. So stay right there. We'll be right back. Before we head up to Rollins Pass, we just did a quick little detour continuing on the road that we were on so that we could see the beginning of Moffett Tunnel over here. And Moffett Tunnel is one of the most famous railroad tunnels in the United States, built back in 1927. And the goal of the tunnel was to reduce costs of operating the rail line over the pass. The 40% of the budget for maintaining the rail line had to be earmarked for snow removal. So the tunnel was the way to save money on operating costs by not having to deal with all the snow. Well, one of the problems with constructing the Moffett Tunnel was the original estimate of about $6 million eventually ballooned to about $18 million in 1927. That's a tremendous amount of money that was spent to build this tunnel back then. But it existed. It's not in operation with the rail line completely anymore. There's another section of the tunnel which actually feeds water down to Denver, and some of it is closed off due to rock slides and avalanches, but it's still a famous thing to see, and it was quite an amazing engineering achievement in its day. And then as we look around here, there's a couple old buildings that were used as support houses and things for the rail line. It's actually a pretty interesting story. Now, if you come up here, there's some signs that explain the tunnel about David Moffett, who was the person who came up with the idea, Moffett's vision, and construction of the tunnel itself. So if you're into history, this is a great stopping point along the way. So now we're going to head back and work our way up Rollins Pass. I've never been here at all before, but that really started off with a nice view going through those little aspen trees right there. I should probably go to our off-road pages and kind of keep track of our altitude, where we're starting off at. But this is a nice simple grade right here. Okay, we're at 9,227 feet. Oh, damn. All right, we're starting off the trail at about 9,220 feet above sea level, and we'll see how we get up to. But starting off at a little over 9,000 feet, we're going to be going up pretty high, so we're likely to hit some pretty deep snow. We'll just have to see. If it gets too deep, we got to turn around, but there's definitely tire tracks ahead of us, and there's 2 people on side-by-sides who are ahead of us right now. So we're looking forward to a gorgeous day. There's not a cloud in the sky. You got huge visibility. Sun is out. It's 15 degrees. So it's cold, but it's looking like it's going to be a beautiful day. Well, I'll definitely say that if you're adverse to shelf roads, as I know some people are, you got to be, you got to think through this one a little bit. It's not super tight. There seems to be plenty of room, so you can kind of hug the inside. So far, there haven't been any off-camber areas or anything, so it's just, it's definitely a shelf road, but the view looking down is just gorgeous, especially right now. There's this dusting of snow down there. It really is a beautiful sight. But I do always want to give a warning on shelf roads, because I know that there's some people who just really, really don't like being on these. And it's, I mean, I'd say it's probably about 800 feet down right now. But I said, look how wide this is. I mean, it's about 1.5 vehicles wide. So there's no reason to hug the shelf side. We're just gonna take it nice and easy, especially because of all the ice and snow, and we shouldn't have any issues. But that view is, in fact, I'm gonna turn the camera a little bit here, give you a little bit better view looking down, because that really is something. Oh, wow. We are only 1.5 miles into this trail, and I'm starting to think this is going to be one of those where I just shoot a tremendous amount of footage and then wonder how I'm going to edit it down to, 15 minutes or so to show the highlights, because this is just beautiful. I'm loving this. The elevation is changing really nice. Right now, we're not on a shelf road anymore. We're on this raised road. I mean, it's only maybe 6 feet down on the steepest side, and it's all covered with snow, and we got these aspen trees and pine trees, and it's just, if you're into this is breathtaking. If this isn't your cup of tea, I understand. No, I don't understand. I'll be honest, I don't understand. But I get it. Everyone has their own thing. But for me, this is just as good as it gets. This is beautiful. And doing it in the snow today is really cool. We're not breaking trail. There's plenty of people who've gone ahead of us. But this is just a beautiful day today. So we're about 2.5 miles from that Jenny Creek fork in the road, and I just had to stop here for a moment. This is just an incredible view. We're sitting on the side of this cliff. It is just, it's absolutely breathtaking right now to see this. There's just this light dusting of snow on the trees and the ground below. The sky is blue. Just a great spot to take in a sight for a moment. Well, we're 2.5 miles into the trail, and after the first switchback, we are now at a little over 9,500 feet, and the snow definitely is deeper up here, and now it's the driver's turn to be on the shelf roadside, looking down over that valley. What a view. But yeah, the snow is definitely getting thicker up here, and we still have quite a ways to climb. So I hope we can make it. You know, as long as there's people who've gone ahead of us and packed it down, we shouldn't have any problems. But as good of a Jeep as a Jeep is, you cannot just drive through several feet of snow. It does not work that way. Trust me, I know this from personal experience. They're not miracle machines. But if you see tracks in front of you like we're seeing here, this is not going to be a problem to keep going. It'll get a little slippery, but that should be about it. But we're aired down to about 18 psi, 17, 18 psi. It'll probably drop a little more as the temperature goes down. So we'll probably get closer to like 15 or 16. And that'll give us a nice big contact patch. And if we need to, we can air down more. Not a problem. But right now we're making good time, just cruising up the trail here. And we've already gone up another 100 feet, 9,600 feet at 3 miles. So we're just gonna kick back and enjoy the view for a while. Okay, we are at about 5.4 miles right now, and it branches off to the old Jenny Creek Trail to the right and 149 to the left. So we're gonna stay to the left here for Rollins Pass, and we are at 9,979 feet. So we are climbing quickly. The snow's getting deeper. It's getting a little more slippery as we go. And we're still having a great time. What a beautiful day out here. So we're just gonna keep cruising. We got a few more landmarks up ahead to keep track of, and we'll let you know how it goes. Oh, it just comes around there?
Yeah.
Sometimes you see these roads going off in other directions and you're not quite sure where they go because you don't see them on the map, and that one appears just to be a different bypass, because where we went, I can definitely imagine that getting filled up with snow. It wouldn't even take a small little, I wouldn't even call it an avalanche, but just a small little dumping of snow right there, and the way we went would have been unpassable, but you could have gone around that little outside loop there and not had as much snow to deal with. But we've just passed 10,000 feet above sea level, and as you know, if you can see this, the snow is definitely getting deeper through here. But we're plodding along. Well, I would say that we are doing pretty good. We've hit 3.8 miles from Jenny Creek, and this is Yankee Doodle Lake. So this is a kind of a big milestone in, especially this time of year. Now, normally you can drive up here in any two-wheel drive vehicle that has high ground clearance. You don't need a big built off-road vehicle to come up here when there's no snow. But this snow is proving to be, it's a little bit of a challenge right now. I mean, it's gotten pretty deep in some spots. So we're at Yankee Doodle Lake. The gladiator that was with us decided to turn around. He's completely stock, but you know, we're gonna keep going. The people on some side-by-side said it was clear up a ways further. So we're gonna see how it goes, and you know, if it gets too deep, we'll be turning around as well. So here we go. All right, we're coming around Yankee Doodle Lake, and it should be about 2.7 miles to the end of the road, and hopefully we can do it. We are at 10,778 feet, so we're really starting to get high in altitude, and we're not going to do anything that feels stupid. You don't want to take risks this time of year in the snow, but we did talk to some people who are on side-by-sides who told us it was pretty clear up to the parking lot. Well, Yankee Doodle Lake was the end of our adventure up Rollins Pass. Right there on the other side, there's a snowdrift that was about 4 feet deep. Once we hit it, we sank all the way to the frame, and tried all the usual. There's really no good place to winch out of it. So I tried lifting up the back with the high lift, and the high lift went all the way to the ground because the snow was so deep. And finally, one of the other guys, we hooked up the winch and pulled back out of it. And that was the end of the trip on Rollins Pass. So we may have to save this one for summertime. But oh well, sometimes that's what snow wheeling's about, is going until you get stuck and then unstucking yourself. So that's our adventure for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Kerry with Trail Traveler here on the beautiful Rollins Pass. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the trail. Bye-bye.